When I was starting in television and you wanted to be a sportscaster, I was told that I would have to work my way up, go to a lot of small towns, which I thought a little weird, you know, because I thought I'd just start as a sexy sideline reporter.
Hey, well, don't we all?
That wasn't a joke. But anyway, but I was like loading up my car. I was going to go to these small towns, and my brother, who's a Navy pilot at the time, is like, no, this is great. You're going to see all these places you would have never seen. Yeah. So I went to Florence, South Carolina, Bridgeport, West Virginia, Evansville, Indiana. I'm like, wow, this is just like the Navy if the Navy was going to protect all of our country's most depressing cities.
That is.
And I'm not ripping on small towns. Small town living is actually pretty cool.
Is it
I really
really?
like it, but the problem is they didn't give it. We didn't make anything.
Oh.
And as an example, I was making $12,000 a year.
Okay.
So they talk about media bias. You know?
Sure.
And I'll admit, totally biased. I was biased to anyone that could just give me a sandwich. But they didn't put any. I mean, they didn't have the palatial setup that you do.
Oh, really? Was it like in a barn or something?
One person.
I mean, what?
Close. It actually was. Listen, it had a metal roof. When it stormed, you could hear it in the studio.
Could you really?
But here's the big thing. When I first got there, I wasn't in sports. I was a morning news guy.
Oh, okay.
And just to let you know how impressive the operation was, that right before we went on the air, the janitor would put down his mop and run audio.
Wow. That's dedication.
You couldn't hear a thing, but our microphones were lemon fresh.
Hey, you know, as long as the mics are lemon fresh.
Exactly.
You know,
Thank you for appreciating.
Of course.
But then I finally got my first break. I got a job in Kansas City, which was really cool. I was traveling with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Nice.
And they were really good back then. Marcus Allen, Joe Montana, Derek Thomas,
Heck
all this
yeah.
thing. Fun times. It's going great. 8 months in, the guy who hired me gets fired. They replaced him with this lady, Lynn, from Cleveland.
Okay.
Well, your contract is a series of one-year contracts, so there's a window each year, and they wanted their own people. She tells me they're not going to renew my contract.
Huh.
Second to last day of work, I get a call from their sister station in Cleveland. And she's like, Bill, you got to take this. It's more money, #1 station in the market, and oh yeah, in 48 hours, you're going to be unemployed.
Wow.
I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm like, is that my counteroffer?
Yeah. Yeah, right.
So I go, and turns out it's a really cool job. I'm the first person to be happy to move to Cleveland.
Is that right? So LeBron wasn't, I guess.
Yeah, well, he was born there. He's grandfather Claus.
Right.
So anyway, so I'm working, and it's going great. I'm having fun, and I'm out on the story. I come back, and there's a big staff meeting, last-minute staff meeting, and I notice my general manager's not there. Corporate's there, and they're like, hey, your general manager took a early retirement, and they're shuffling people around. They introduced my new boss. Out comes walking Lynn from Kansas City.
Wow.
Not making it up. I'm like, what am I going to do? So I go into her office after me. She sees me, gives me a big hug, and whispers in my ear, pack your things. So just to let you know, I am such a good employee. My boss moved 800 miles to fire me again.
Man.
But here's the weird thing, right? A month ago, she tracked me down, and now we're Facebook friends.
Hey, I love that.
Isn't this sweet? It turns out, no, she just got a new job. Turns out she's going to start running like a small talk show in Ann Arbor.
Really? Oh, no. Is that right?
Yeah, so it's been nice knowing you.
Oh, thank you. No, thank you so much.